Welcome to the animated recap. In this video, we have recapped the adventure and comedy movie The Book of Life that was released in 2014. In the start of this movie, it is shown that a bunch of kids arrive at the museum. There, after being directed to a gigantic book, a female starts to read them a tale about a neighborhood at the center of the universe. People reside here after passing away, and it is divided into two halves. A goddess was in charge in a place where people were remembered by the living after they had passed away. It seemed like heaven here. On the other side were those whom earth had forgotten. The god who was in charge of this place did not like it since it was ugly. The god and goddess of each territory were wedded partners. On the day that everyone honors their loved ones by burning candles at their graves, the novel takes place. Even the spirits of the deceased visit this realm to meet up with their departed family members. The gods were gathering as the citizens of the village whose tale is told leave for the real world to rejoin their loved ones. God addresses goddess, "I am sick of staying in that lifeless place." He claims, "I want to spend a few days in heaven because that planet is depressing and dreary. You should now reside somewhere that earthlings have forgotten." They were conversing while observing three children in the outside world. The other two were men courting the female who was one of the three. "Let's play a game, whomever wins gets to stay in the region that resembles heaven," God said to the goddess. Maria was the name of the girl. The men who were positioned close to Maria were chosen. They bet that whoever marries Maria will triumph. In a later apparition, Goddess appears to her player dressed as an elderly woman and offers guidance on how to maintain his bravery and moral integrity. The player receives a pin from God on the other side that guarantees their safety from harm or death. The rules stated that it was against the law to provide the player any magical items. God chose not to confess to Goddess that he had cheated because he was determined to control heaven at all costs. They watch Maria free a bull and a few pigs from the butcher. Now when the bull was causing damage to the neighborhood, Maria's father was getting ready to charge the animal. He will undoubtedly be killed by the bull as it advances, but the god's players have at last come to stop it. Despite having gotten bullfighting instruction from his father, the goddess player is a musician who abhors conflict. God's fighter character rushes into the conflict and knocks Maria's father aside because he enjoys fighting and because of his strength. While trying to escape the bull, Maria's father collapses. Later, the bull is fought by the goddess player, who eventually defeats it using a crimson cloth. The player who played the goddess intervened to save the village. When Maria's father awoke, he realized that the god player had become the town hero and that he had been unable to see it. After all this, Maria was sent from the village to pursue her education. As she turns to leave, she hands a guitar to the goddess player, who is the true hero. The god player matures into the community's hero, while the goddess player changes into a bullfighter. He has the heavenly pin, which he has used to great advantage in a number of victories. He has protected his village from all threats. After working hard to become an elder over the years, Maria was finally returning to her village today. The goddess player had to face a huge bull in front of everyone because today was his bull match. He engages the bull in combat and wins. He rejects his father's suggestion to slay the bull with a sword. Many viewers mistakenly think the player is a coward because they cannot understand that he has no desire to murder any innocent people, but this is actually the case. They start insulting him and hurling stuff at him. This was acknowledged by Maria, and he is the one who is proud of his accomplishments. She converses with a representative of God, and her father has prepared a feast to greet her. But when they converse, she doesn't like him. As she left the gathering and entered her chamber, the goddess player was singing for her. She likes it, but when they get back to the party, the god's player calls out Maria in front of everyone. Players from the god and goddess teams started to argue. Before the combat was over, there was a sound that warned that their village had been attacked. The god player advances to engage them in warfare because they were sent there by a demon. The magical pin that causes the demon's allies to flee when they realize it belongs to whom. Thus so to let their demon, who had also been looking for the pin for a while, know that he has found it. The people claim that they have abandoned their homes because they are afraid of the god player. Now, Maria's father and a villager demand that she marry the god player in order to defend her community. On the other side of the river, Maria is led by the goddess player to a stunning bridge that is decorated with candles. God, who was unaware of it, was on his side since he had faith that Maria would support the goddess player. He was singing to her. Before Maria could do something like this, he sends a snake to make sure she will consent to marry him. It bites Maria, who subsequently passes away there. The people are outraged at the goddess player after witnessing Maria perish there. Do you want to watch Maria when God shows up, goddess actor? If he responds yes, God permits him to be bitten by a deadly snake with 2 faces. The young boy passes away and immediately goes to heaven. The inhabitants of earth remember them here because here is where humans go once they die. He introduces himself before disclosing anything to his family. In an effort to locate Maria, they now make the decision to meet the goddess. Maria and the divine player will be partners for the rest of their lives. When they find the goddess house, they are horrified and shocked to see that God has taken her place. He was giving specifics about the wager that God and goddess had made to them. Because the goddess had lost the wager, God was present. The goddess player wonders how she could have lost her wager given that Maria had also passed away. God informs him that Maria has been brought back as a result of the miraculous pin that was given to his player. The player for God is currently married to Maria. Although he loses, the goddess's player maintains his courage. He wants the goddess to know that God is lying. He now wants to relocate to the neighborhood where the poor live. Although the trip there wasn't simple, once he arrived, he solved a challenge and arrived at a bridge. There was a creature there that prevented him from entering. It breaks its huge, burning sword as it leaps at him. He was blessed by the goddess since he had a pure heart. With the aid of a man, he navigates the water and proceeds to walk to the other spot. There, he encounters goddess, who confronts him and tells him everything, infuriating him. She yells while hailing her husband as God. God notices the goddess's player and, out of worry, speaks the truth. Goddess becomes furious upon hearing this. The player of the goddess then commands, "Play a game with me as you did with the goddess. If I succeed, goddess, you must give me a new life. If I fail, I will always be with her." God begins the game by placing the bulls that his father had killed in front of the goddess's player since he is aware of the weakness of the goddess's player. He has to take on all of them at once. He is given a guitar and a sword before the combat starts, but he selects the guitar, frightening everyone. The player for the goddess summons a massive bull comprised of bull's souls, but instead of slaying it, he plays the guitar. The bull loses its temper when he sings a song of atonement for them, falls to his knees at the bull's feet, and reaches out his hand in comfort. Around the bull, there was wrath that appeared to be fire. The goddess player has won because the bull's spirit has subsequently ascended to heaven. On the other hand, a scene from the outside world depicts the union of Maria and God's player. The army of the demons attacks just as everything is about to end here. The demon has come here to steal the miraculous pin from God's player. The god's player advances to engage in combat with it, but during the conflict, the pin slips from his grasp, rendering him impotent. He can no longer defend himself and enters the goddess player, who had won the bet to do so. Also briefly present with him on this world is his family. Today was the day that spirits were reunited with their kin or relatives who had passed on to the physical realm. The family of the goddess's player was first encountered by the cosmos in this manner. Together, they take on the demon's army, and when they triumph, the god and goddess players level the monster up. This monster has also taken Maria. The goddess's player uses his skills to save Maria. The devil won't give in even if it knows it will lose. It puts a bomb in its mouth, which explodes and wipes out the entire hamlet. They bring about the demon's demise by ordering it to attack them. They were still inside the bell when the bomb went off. The locals are upset that their neighborhood was also preserved. While this is going on, the goddess representing player exits the bell feeling secure because to the god representing badge that was awarded to his player. God's player, thankfully, was also delivered. Because her player and Maria were about to get married, the goddess succeeds at the end of the story. The action then quickly returns to the beginning of the scenario, when the kids were overjoyed to discover the happy conclusion to the story. Later, it was revealed that the girl who had been giving them this tale was none other than goddess. With this scene, the film ends. We hope that you people would have liked this video. Please tell us in the comment section that what new movies we should recap in next videos. In next videos, we will come with the recaps of more exciting animated movies. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon.